everyone, welcome to another video. In today's video, I would like to talk about how to install and use SnowSQL or SnowSQL, an application that we can download on our laptop to execute some commands that we cannot execute within our web interface. So the way we download it is we go to the page of the Snowflake documentation called Installing SnowSQL, and here you will find a link, SnowSQL download. And you're going to choose, for instance, in my case, I chose SnowSQL for Mac OS. You're going to choose what applies to you and just simply go through with the installation. All right, congratulations, you have installed the software. So here we have the application, and the application will look something like this. It's just a black screen, looks like a terminal with some letters on top, very, very dry interface. Now, to get started, we need to link our SnowSQL to our Snowflake account. And the way you do that will depend on your authentication mode. Now, if you use username and password, I really recommend the video that you will find in the description below. That's really detailed on that. In this video, I will talk about how to authenticate if you use Google Authentication. So if you authenticate through the browser with your Google account. So we want to start out by typing SnowSQL, followed by our account with -a. And how do we find the name of our account? Up here, when we go to our Snowflake user interface, in the URL, you should have an ID. So go ahead and copy that, add a dot, and then add the region you're in. But please do note that in the example I'm giving here, I'm using AWS, and the account might slightly differ in the way that it's written, depending on which provider you're using and other variables. So have a look at the page that's now on the screen, and I will link it down below just to make sure that you get your account spelled the correct way. So the next thing we need to do is to tell Snowflake who we are. And we do that by adding -u, which stands for user, which normally will be followed by your username. But in our case, we will need to add our email instead of the username. Once we've done this, the only thing we need to do is to add the authentication method we use. So in our case, it's /authenticator equals external browser. And once we've clicked on enter, it might take a couple of seconds, we will be sent to the browser. So our browser will open and we will be asked to authenticate using the Google account that's connected to our Snowflake account. And this should direct you to a white page that says your identity was confirmed. If you successfully linked your Snowflake account to SnowSQL, you should have something like this. So your username and then compute warehouse at, no database, no schema, and here's where you can start. For instance, I want to say use GaiaDB. There you go. Semicolon. Okay, so whenever we execute a successful command, we get something like this. If you have in mind also how the normal Snowflake interface is, when you successfully execute a command, you will have a little table like this. So it's kind of mimicking that. And now you can go ahead and do whatever you need to do in here. Personally, I downloaded SnowSQL because I wanted to use a put command that I wasn't able to use within the normal Snowflake UI. So I hope you enjoyed this and see you next month.